wish my life was as perfect as my outfit. I'm going to wait a few minutes for more people to log on, but I'm so excited that you guys are logging on with me today. I hope that everybody has had a great day. If you didn't have a great day, you're in store for a treat, because I'm about to bring some encouragement to you, some life to your life, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to joke around and laugh, okay? So as people log on, I want to give you a little feedback of why I wanted to start a talk show. It just came to me one day. I was talking to my brother, and he was like, you know what? You should start a talk show. You should do something where you're talking to people, and I think people want to hear your take on things, and people want to hear your story. So I decided to go ahead and start working on it. All I did was basically name it. I wish my life was as perfect as my outfit. Why did I name it this? It's because one day I wish my life was as perfect as my outfit. Dressing, getting dressed, putting on clothes, picking out clothes, that's not a problem for me. I do that naturally. I have no problem in that area. I can wake up fresh. You know, it's not a problem for me. But my life and the details of my life, that was a problem for me. And I found myself wishing that my life was as perfect as my outfit. So that's where the talk show came from. So a couple of weeks ago, maybe, I was talking to Takisha Bromell, who is my special guest today, and she was telling me about how she wanted to do some interviews, and I told her about my desire to do this talk show, and so 1 came to 2, and we equal 3, and we put this thing together. And so that's what we're doing today. So I would like to take a moment and introduce you this phenomenal woman. She is an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker, a real estate agent, and she is just a woman on fire and a woman of purpose. So please welcome my first special guest, Takisha Bromell. One day we'll have a live audience. I know y'all clapping. Hey, Takisha.
Hi.
How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. This is inspired by you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes. She looks wonderful. So we'll get to the outfit in a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, so you heard my intro. So this is about helping women create a life that is just as perfect as their outfits. Because we know that we all go through struggle. We all go through this thing called life, and it's not perfect. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't treat us any better or any fancier because we're women. We get the same type of struggles that men get and everybody. So tell me, was there a time in your life when you wished your life was as perfect as your outfit?
Plenty of times. You know, one of the biggest times was when I was in the process of separating from my ex-husband and going through a divorce.
Wow.
And I thought that it was the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time, that actual moment, I was driving into my garage, and the garage door went down. And as I'm looking at, or like about to get out of my car, I heard the enemy say, "End it."
Wow. End your life?
End it. Like, sit there and end it. And I sat there for a couple of minutes, and I contemplated. I contemplated the thought of killing myself because I wasn't sure who I was. At that time, when you're when you're in hurt, you also don't know. You're wondering who God is and where God is. Mm-hmm. And so here I am, a minister, and in church and all of those kind of things, and I'm questioning to myself, am I going to end it?
Wow.
And I always call it my hope floats moment, because that was also the time that my purpose started asking me questions. Had I fulfilled my purpose? Had I done the things that God had called me to do?
Right.
And I couldn't answer it. And a lot of those things I had to say no.
Yeah.
It inspired me. My purpose inspired me to get up out of the car and live to see another day. Mm-hmm. And so everyone has had moments in their lives where they're just hurt and broken and not sure where to go and what to do.
That's so many people I know can identify with that moment, because you were going through a divorce, but the similar feelings a person may feel when they're going through a breakup.
Absolutely.
And I think that women, as we go through life, we're told to, be educated, be beautiful, get married, find a husband, build a family, and be a princess. And those things are, even if that's not your forte, it's always in the back of your mind.
Always in the back of your mind.
And one more point.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like the American culture and just different type of cultures connect being with a companion or with a husband to your purpose.
Absolutely, positively, yes.
Yeah.
And I never thought for a million years that I was going to get a divorce. Like, I thought that he was my husband forever.
Your mate, your life mate.
My life mate.
Yeah.
I met him in college.
Wow.
We grew up together. You know, we're like babies growing up together.
Yeah.
And so that was really difficult for me. You know, one of the things that I had to kind of like conquer in that process of separation was conquering myself. Although, yes, I was broken that me and him, we separated.
Mm-hmm.
But then once he was gone, I had to be able to look in the mirror and find something in myself that was worth saving. And at the time, I remember walking past my vanities, like I had 2 vanities, and I would walk past my vanity and I would turn my head and turn my body away from myself. I could not look myself in the mirror.
Wow.
Could not look myself in the mirror at the time.
Wow. So let me take a moment to stop there. I know somebody that is watching has either been through a divorce. I know someone that is watching has felt the feeling of not being able to look in the mirror because you either didn't like what you saw or you didn't like who you were at that moment. So if that is you and you felt that way now or at another point in life, please drop me in the comments and I will reply once we stop the recording. But I just want people to know that you are not alone. You are not the only one that deals with these type of issues. You're not the only one that's been through a divorce that you thought you would never get a divorce. You're not the only one that has a purpose on their life and life did something to you that you didn't like and made you feel ugly on the inside, right?
Absolutely.
And you're not the only one that has had to grow out of that and start anew. So I want to come back to you.
I'm just going to say, you know, another thing that was like a struggle for me was, so there's a mean girl. And the mean girl is not you or someone else. The mean girl is what's inside of you.
Yes.
It's that mean girl that tells you that you're not good enough. But it comes from the enemy, and it started from the enemy. And so what happens is, as little girls, is we start to look at other people and who they are and what you're not, and you start to make all of these examples and these ideas of who you are. Mm-hmm. And so you grow up with this mentality that you're not enough, and that we have life situations, divorce. That showed you also the rejection of the world, rejection of a husband and all those kind of things. So you find yourself in a place where you have to really sit down and say, how I know, God, that your word said that I'm the head and not the tail, that I'm above and not beneath, that I'm fine, you know, but fearfully and wonderfully made, you know, that I'm all of those things. And so how do I get to that place of being able to see that?
Yes.
That is hard to ever get to that place.
Right.
So what I did was, shortly after me and my husband separated, I started putting on makeup and changing my look and doing all of these things. But you know, that was hollow too, because it was me having to take off the makeup and deciding to really look in the mirror and stop walking past the mirror, that I started to then start to see that there was something inside of me that was so much important. First of all, God loved me. He loves me. He loves Takisha. He loves Cameo, right? He loves us.
Like an enduring, like, oh, she got it, love. Like, she got it, girl. He loves us. We're his prize. We're his reason to be, you know, well pleased.
Yes.
When he looks down here, he sees gorgeousness, beauty, princesses. You know, he told me one time, Cameo, when I look down at my children, they have crowns on their head. Yes. They're walking around and they are royalty to me. You know, and the world doesn't treat us that way, and we have the experience of growing up in a world that is not based in godly values and the things of the Word of God that teaches you all of those things about yourself. So it's kind of like when you start learning about who God has called you to be and who you are in Christ, it is a real renewal to renew your mind, you know, because the world tells you if you need to be beautiful, then you need to go get some hair, girl. You need to do your face, boo. You need to have those edges. But God says you're fearfully and wonderfully made in this very moment.
Absolutely. Do you know the first time that I really went on on Facebook without makeup was this year.
Wow.
Like I was walking and exercising and getting healthy and starting to enjoy my body, starting to like what I saw in the mirror. And I was outside and I took a picture of myself. I mean, drenched down. It was raining outside. I was walking in the rain, sweat on me, rain on me. And I took the picture and I posted it on Facebook, and that was so freeing.
Yes.
So wonderful to get to a place of being comfortable.
I love
and I'm 48 years old, just taking a photo, of myself without makeup on.
But you know what? It doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah.
It's that you got there.
Yes.
It's that you are continuing to evolve and get to new levels of freedom. Because that's really what I think life is about. Finding your freedom within God. Because He's called us to be so much. But we get so caught up in being like this or this bad or this bad. But He wants us to be free in Him.
And who the Son sets free
is free indeed. And you feel it from the inside out. No one can take that from you. No one can take that from you.
No one.
Okay, so let me get on to my next question. All right, so what do you do to relax?
So I am I love being near the water. And not the ocean, but more of a lake or a river or something like that. So I find that I will drive down, we're in Tennessee, so I will drive down to Chattanooga and just take a moment to go near the river walk and just walk around and just reset my mind, reset my focus, reset my heart. Like I kind of do that kind of stuff. So I love water.
I love it. I love water too. I go to a Percy Creek Lake all the time. And I sit out there and it's just a peaceful moment. We do not get a lot of peaceful moments. Like, if I could change the world, I would take away. I love a cell phone, but it gives people, it gives them access to me no matter what I'm doing. I'm on the toilet. You can call me if I'm in the bathroom. I'm in the shower thinking, oh my God, who called and what's going on? I'm driving. It's all the time. And I think that doing like your technique of relaxation is very good because it's without distraction. It's without distraction, and you have to be comfortable without those distractions. Some people can't go to bed without looking at Instagram or Facebook, and that is not good. That's not good, guys. That's not good. So if you do that, you need to check yourself and try to do something different. That is really not good. If you go to bed looking at Instagram or Facebook before you close your eyes, you look at Instagram or Facebook, I want you to drop a me in the comments. Cause I want to see who you are. So Takisha gonna go and do it, and I do it sometimes too. I'm not gonna front. But I try not to, but it's really hard because they set up social media to be addictive. So it serves its purpose in that it does pull us in.
It does.
It distracts us from ourselves. It is really, in a way, it's kind of a drug. Because why people do drugs and alcohol and stuff like that is because they are trying to escape. Yeah. And that's what Facebook and Instagram can do for you. At times, it is a way that you can escape. And I don't want to keep calling out. I love Facebook. Shout out to Facebook for even giving me the chance to do live. But I know they support healthy use of their content, of their platform. I know they do. All right, so let's get back to it. Tell me, what is 3 tips that you would give a woman to figure out how to be a powerful woman, a woman of purpose? I'm sorry, woman of purpose.
Number one is to know who you are. So when I do coaching, I usually will invite people to take the personality test, like a Myers-Briggs test or a DISC profile. Yeah. And it helps you because it really starts to kind of show you who you are, and you can start taking ownership of that.
I love it.
Another thing is that we don't know how to communicate love to people. We don't know how to receive love back.
That's
so knowing what your love language is and what you need to have in order to feel secure, to feel loved and appreciated is very important, because then you can share that with others.
Yeah.
And then the other part of it is really just taking time to yourself. Again, it's all about self-reflection.
I love it.
Those 3 things are really key in helping you slow down for a moment, see your strengths, also understand your weaknesses. There's nothing wrong with understanding what your weaknesses are. Yes. Okay, so for example, I am on the personality profile, I'm an INTJ.
Okay.
So I am more on although I do speaking and things like that, I'm more of an introvert. Understanding that, like just in business, with my business, like I just had to hire someone to be like my business developer because I'm not someone who's the salesperson, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm using that person because that's my weakness. My weakness is that I'm not the best at selling and putting myself out there. Mm-hmm. But there are plenty of other people that are good at that kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, a good example is I'm like, I had to call you. So let me tell you a quick story, everybody. Yes. I mean, Facebook land, I have to tell you a really quick story. So I did a shoot with the Vivid Experience.
Yes.
Yes, she's back in the back over there. Yes. So I did a really good shoot with her, but I realized that I wasn't the best at placing my hands, placing my body, understanding my body, my poses and things like that. Also, I've lost weight, so understanding what my good sides are and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes when you are heavy and when you lose weight, you don't really see the weight that you've lost. There are times when I will go to a store and buy the same sizes that I had before because I'm still thinking of myself in that size, right? So I called Cameo and I said, Cameo, okay, so honey, let me tell you something. I cannot do this. I'm not the best at it. And every time I see a picture of you, you're just so gorgeous, and you you have a presence about you. So did I not call you?
You did. She did, and I said yes, of course.
I said, I'm going to hire you right now. What is the fee? I'm going to pay you now because I need to know how to do that. Mm-hmm. And so there you go. Know what your weaknesses are.
I love it.
And then you don't have to overcompensate. You compensate somebody who knows that they can come in and strengthen you.
Yes, and learn from that person. Mm-hmm. And so that's what you did today. Is we were taking pictures, you were learning, so that you can go forth and do it. You know. So I encourage you, ladies, to, as Takisha has said, learn what your weaknesses are and find someone that is good at what you're weak at. Ask them for advice. I'm sure listen, how I got good at taking pictures is 1 year, all God gave me to do is He said every day, put together an outfit and take a picture. So for a whole year, it might have been, this might have been 2010, but my best friend and I, we worked together. And every day I would put together an outfit and I would get to work, and on our lunch break we'd go outside and I would take pictures. And that is how I got comfortable in front of the camera. So to get comfortable in front of the camera takes effort and time, but also knowledge. So I'm just so proud that you did that for your own self, and that just shows that you are walking in purpose and creating a life that is as perfect as your outfit.
And let me talk about that because the challenge that Cameo gave me was, okay, Takisha, you cannot wear a jacket. You cannot because I am in front of the camera always trying to dress professional, put on suits and things like that. I'm a business owner, I'm a CEO of a company, so I always try to put on jackets and stuff like that. And she was like, "Don't do it. I want to see you in some jeans. I got the ripped up jeans."
Yeah, she came for it today. Yes,
you challenged me to get outside of my comfort zone and to bring it down a level. It's okay to be business, but it's so funny. I have to tell you something. So I met this friend. I don't know who he is yet, so I won't mention any names here. And so he was like, he was looking at my stuff on Facebook, and he was like, "So do you wear suits all the time? Like, do you ever dress down?" And that was right after. I said, "Well, how about this? Next week I'm taking photos." And my and my person who's like over all of this is telling me to put on some ripped up jeans and everything or whatever, and to really kind of like bring it down a notch or whatever. So there's something to be said about being able to be coached and taught, and I appreciate you coaching me and teaching me and everything. So this right here came from the idea, from your idea, to bring it down a notch and just kind of be more relatable.
I love it. I love it. And ladies, I want you to know, whatever you're good at, some ladies are really good at the casual thing. If you want, it's nothing wrong with stepping into another layer of yourself. You will evolve. You are a woman. You were created to be beautiful in all ways and all things. You don't have to stay stuck in a certain style or in a certain way. And if you have any questions about that, of course, DM me or inbox me, and I will be so happy to give you a consultation. But I want you guys to be open. I encourage you to be open. Yes. I encourage you guys to be open because I have evolved into different people and different looks of Cameo, you know, and I am working on now embracing the sexiness of Cameo more because the world doesn't, you know, has such a stigmatization on sexiness, you know, but I think God created us to be sexy. I'll tell this story about my son.
Okay.
One day he told me, he said, why do you think God made girls with such big booties? And I said, I don't know. He said, I think he made them that way so we would look at them. Now tell me this. God knew he was making a booty big, and God knew men were going to look at him. Now, do you think he wasn't trying to make that appealing? Now, why cover it up and do all this? Now, I'm not saying to walk around with it out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, why not show off your curves?
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. And I feel like you can be sexy, but not lustful. There's a difference. Being lustful means that when a man looks at you, he thinks of nothing but sex. Being sexy is when a man looks at you and he looks at, wow, look at this beautiful woman. Look at this creature that God has created. She is appealing to me, not only sexually, but I want to find out more about her because I got to respect for her because of the way she's pulling herself together.
Yes.
And I think that's what Eve brought to Adam when God, you know, he was like, I done seen all these horses and dogs, but this right here, this is intriguing to me.
But you know that lustful and lust is in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
You have no control.
Come on, I tell people that too.
I have no control over
what
your heart
yes,
and your
yes,
issues.
yes. So thank you.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna wrap this up, and I have two more questions. So my next to last question is, what is God's vision for your life?
Gosh, you know what? The awesome thing is that he doesn't get me too far ahead because to get too far ahead means that I will mess it up. I am a planner and I execute. So all we have to do is say, Takisha,
do this and you run it.
Or just give me a vision of it. And I'm already running to put it into fruition, to kind of create it. What I do know is that I'm continuing to expand Girl Friday Business Solutions. That's my business.
Okay. And what is your business?
Okay. We do virtual executive assistant work for businesses and things like that. So we're virtual executive assistants. So
it's called Girl Friday.
Girl Friday Business
I love
Solutions.
that name.
Yeah. So we'll be 3 years old in December.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So that's like a milestone.
Yes.
For an African American business to be continuing to grow in a pandemic, and still be growing, and we have like 10 people that work for us, and
congratulations. Boss chick, I love it.
And then Takisha Bromell Enterprises, which is more of my ministry side. That is where I talk about purpose. So I'm just gonna say this. There are just a couple of things that I wanted to mention about purpose. 70% of the people out there have no idea what their purpose is. They are like living, not even knowing what their purpose is. Another 20% of the people out there have an inkling but are not in it. So that's 90% of this world that are going to come to the end of their lives and flatline. Like, I mean, they're not going to.
They're going to lay on their bed with regrets. Because all of that is going to come back. I should.
Yes. And then the other 7% out there, they are doing it, but they probably need strategy, a coach. Someone to help push them. Like, you were coaching me all this entire afternoon. She's been coaching me, showing me poses, being my rah-rah person, a wonderful coach. And then there's 3% like you, like me, that are out there doing it. We are like killing it. We are doing it.
Right.
So the question I have for you is, which one are you?
Wow.
Are you of the 70, the 20, the 7, or the 3? And in whatever place you are, get there. Yeah. Let nothing stop you from getting to where you need to be, which is knowing what your purpose is and fulfilling it.
I love it. And if that is touching anyone, of course you can contact myself or Takisha, and we would love to talk to you about your purpose. If you're not ready for that and you just want to start finding out about your purpose, you can read The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. That's a really good book to read. And just start researching. Look up YouTube videos. Start working yourself. Start building yourself. I posted on Facebook today. You guys might have seen. My caption was, "The devil is busy watching me shine." And I'm not studying him no more. I'm not. He's under my feet. I know it and I believe it. So he can't do nothing but watch me shine. He can throw darts. They're gonna fall to the ground. He can try to make me sad. I might frown, but baby, Cameo is gonna get right back up.
Yes.
So I encourage you guys to find out what your purpose is, and like my pastor says, get about your purpose like a bulldog on a bone.
That's right.
Don't let up on it. Don't let up on it, because the last thing I want to do is get to heaven and God said, "Oh, daughter, I had so much more for you. I had so much more for you. I love you. I'm so proud of what you did, but I had so much more. I want it all.
I want it all.
I want it all.
No crumbs on the ground. I want it all.
I want
and
it
at
all.
the end of it, I want to be saying, okay, I want to say, well done.
Yes,
Yes.
I do too. All right, well, this was amazing. So my
Do I dance?
yes, this is my
Okay.
last question.
Okay.
Last question is 2020 your year?
Yes, it is.
Woo!
Yes, it is, honey. It is. So let me tell you something, just very quickly, because I know we're about to end. But I just wanted to say that last year I was on my couch and I was like, I am going to end this business.
Wow.
I was exhausted. I was tired. I thought I had aged 1,000 years, and I was like, I'm done. And God said, give it a year. That was leading into 2020 with the pandemic, with all the different things, and my business is still going. My business is still growing. God is continuing to show favor in the midst of all of that. So 2020 is my year.
Yes,
So,
I love it. Ooh, thank you for sharing that. Yes, we ain't never gonna stop.
we're not going to stop.
All right, so we about to do this 2020 dance.
Okay.
I don't know if everybody knows, but I have a song out called 2020 is my year. You can find it on YouTube. Search 2020 is my year. It's available on all music platforms too. So I have a dance to go with it. And Takisha has said that she would be my guest and also dance with me. I did ask her in advance, so this isn't a big surprise. All right.
It's not a big surprise, but God bless us.
Yeah,
okay?
we got it. And we're going to have to do it without the music. So I'm just going to
I'm going
sing.
to rap it, and then I'm going to go with it.
Okay, cool. Okay, on the count of 3. 2020 is my year. 2020 is my year. I ain't never gonna stop, cause Goddy got me poppin'. I ain't never gonna stop, cause Goddy got me poppin'. 2020 is our year. 2020 is our year. We ain't never gonna stop, cause Goddy got us poppin'. We ain't never gonna stop, cause Goddy got us poppin'. Okay, okay,
Yes, honey.
All right, Takisha, thank you for doing it with me.
Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, before we log off, tell everybody how they can stay in touch with you, all of your IG, your Instagram, whatever you have going on.
Okay, so just the easiest way is Takisha Bromell Enterprises. That's on Facebook.
Okay.
That is on the internet, on our website or whatever. So
Awesome.
TakishaBromell.com, Girl Friday BusinessSolutions.com, and then anything on Facebook. Yes.
All right. So she's tagged in my caption, so all you guys got to do is go up and click on her profile, and all of her information is there. So I would love for you guys to share this with someone else. Please share this. Let everybody know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to encourage people, motivate them to live a life that is fearfully and wonderfully made. That means that you are walking in your full purpose. You know that God is for you. You're made to be respected, and you're gonna do it no matter what. So that's just what I'm trying to bring to the world. So please share this with